Another photo so that everyone can see.
The closest of neighbours, and to judge by this scene, you would assume the best of friends. Donald Trump joining the leaders of Mexico and Canada at the World Cup draw in Washington, D.C. last December. But behind the smiles, distrust and even animosity between the US president and his tournament co-host, Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Donald Trump had begun his second term in office demanding that Canada be incorporated into the United States.
What I'd like to see, Canada become our 51st state. We give them protection, military protection. Some people say that would be a long shot. If people wanted to play the game right, it would be 100% certain that they'd become a state.
Cue outrage in the US's northern neighbour and victory in Canada's general election for Mark Carney, who campaigned largely on resistance to Trump's extraordinary attempt at a land grab.
The old relationship we had with the United States, based on deepening integration of our economies and tight security and military cooperations, is over.
And both Canada and Mexico came under fire from Trump for, in his view, ripping the US off through unfair trade practices. Both countries were hit with huge tariffs. Mexico's president suggested it was part of Washington's attempt to interfere in her country's politics.
Are we perhaps seeing sectors of the U.S. far right using our country to position themselves ahead of the 2026 elections? Or do they intend to influence our country's 2027 election? These are not rhetorical questions. Mexico is nobody's piñata.
Trump did go some way to mending relations with both leaders, though at the White House, Carney again ruled out the idea of Canada becoming the 51st state.
It's not for sale, won't be for sale.
But never say never. Never say never.
So the biggest ever World Cup is kicking off with tensions still remaining between the US and its two fellow hosts. But could their sharing of this tournament actually help them resolve their differences in the long run?
I don't see this as having a magic effect of bringing the three countries closer together. And it's not to say that I'm being a pessimist. I'm just saying historically, it's not always the case that events like this result in a dramatic transformation of bilateral relations. But that's the sort of thing that requires lots of time to accomplish. And I don't think a singular event is going to, just flip the narrative overnight.
But for the next few weeks at least, any grievances will surely be put aside as the three nations play host to this festival of football. John Brain, TRT World, Washington.